Hey everyone, this is Delmark recording artist Breezy Rodeo from Chicago, Illinois, and you are listening to Who Magoo.
You told me I'm alright, but I should change my ways. And when you see me leaving, you want me to stay. That's the way it goes, and this is who I am. Now let me play the blues, cause I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. You don't like my car, don't like the way I look. You ran away and left me with the cash you took. But let me tell you, girl, the story don't match up. You spend your days complaining, so just give me up, just give me up. Don't mess me up. You give me up. Don't mess me up. Just give me up. Don't mess me up. Just give me up. You don't mess me up. Now you listen real good. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I got some loving with no romance. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. If you can't take it, don't dish it. Cause if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You don't fix it. Don't fix it. Now don't fix it. You don't like my car, don't like the way I look. You ran away and left me with the cash you took. But let me tell you, girl, the story don't match up. Spend your days complaining, so just give me up, just give me up. Don't mess me up. You give me up. Don't mess me up. Just give me up. Don't mess me up. You give me up. You don't mess me up. Well now, do as I say, not as I do. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I got some loving with no romance. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. And if you can't take it, you don't dish it. 'Cause if it ain't broke, oh Lord, don't fix it. Don't fix it. No, don't fix it. Don't fix it.
you very much. Who Magoo doing some Chicago blues this morning with Breezy Radio. If it ain't broke, don't fix. But I'll tell you, I got a special guest, Paul Winn, all the way from York, England, the UK, here on the Who Magoo. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. How are we doing? Well, it's morning there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's almost 10, 9:48. And what are you at? 3:48 by you?
3:48. Yep. So I've done all the chores today. Now I've just sat in my little studio at home.
Oh, Paul,
isolated.
Great. Bro, I've been watching your stuff or seeing your promotions online, and now it's happening. And, you know, my show is just get the music out there. And I see so many cool blues artists that you play. And I love to just reach out to everybody today, my friend, and again with the world. And I thought I'd bring you on and chat and hear what's happening in the UK, my friend. So welcome to the show, buddy.
It sounds like a good plan, that, Tom.
And you know I'm a big fan of The Who, so it's like, man, I wish I could jam them. I played some other artists before. I have my Live 365, so that's where I get my little fun when I can play that legally.
Excellent.
I see. Tell us about your stations and what's all going on over there, my friend.
Yeah, so massively into blues music. That's all I play. I don't play rock that's pretending to be blues. I do one show that I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 years called The Blues Hour. It's been up for a few awards, but I've never won anything, but it's nice to be nominated. And I tend to concentrate on the new releases for bands that are kind of at the roots level of the music on that show. Because I figure that the greats, your Muddy Waters, your BB Kings, all those guys have had plenty of opportunities elsewhere. So I've got 57 minutes and 40 seconds on that show to get as many tracks in as I can. And I'm a member of something called the Independent Blues Broadcasters Association over in the UK. And there's about 70 of us, and we all get our music, about 5 albums a day usually, and a lot of the new releases. So bands that I'd never heard of in the past, I'm getting the opportunity to learn, and I've got to get to know some of them personally, which is fantastic. So that's the Blues Hour, and the most recent show called Blues from the Ooze, that goes out on a station called Jorvik Radio in York. And Jorvik is the old Viking name for York, don't you know? Mm-hmm. And that is a weekly 2-hour live show, whereas the other show's pre-recorded. And on the live show, I do tend to play a class as more mainstream blues, plus a lot of the new releases. But the key seller for me on that show is having live guests in the studio playing a session. Either they take over the second hour of the show if there's drums in the band, because there's a noise curfew for the second hour of the show. Uh-huh. So, but if it's just a duo playing acoustic stuff, we'll have them on throughout the show, have a chat, and I quite often join in on harmonica with them as well, which is great fun. So you never know it's live radio flying by the seat of your pants.
Oh, you guys, man, the BBC and the pirate radio, that's back in the day. I just love what all you guys do. And, your stations, I see so many cool things, the live stuff and the different blues. And I myself get the new tracks myself from Betsy Brown, Blind. And ABI,
they have
all
Betsy
those
Brown's
guys.
got some fantastic stuff on there. Absolutely brilliant.
Charlie Bedford, I got lined up good to go when we got done here. I got that jam next. And Albert Castaliga and all those things. I myself get to interview those people from Betsy and the blues side. And I get to reach out to like A.G. Weinberger in Hungary and chat with him and all this stuff through the independent side and this technology.
Yes, it's funny where it can lead, isn't it? If you're just a voice behind a microphone and do it with a smile on your face, it can get you some places. So I must have. I've been very lucky. As well as doing the radio shows, I've been playing in my own band since I was a kid, and I'm probably old enough to know better now. Or my wife thinks I am. So I do that, and I've recently got into session work with harmonica. So I've been playing on a few albums, especially of late with this lockdown, because a lot of guys are recording at home and they're just sending the tracks round. And one interesting, well, hopefully it's interesting. There was a shout out on Facebook about 4 or 5 weeks ago from a guy called Adam Norsworthy that plays in a terrific band called the Bad Day Blues Band. And he also plays in another brilliant band called the Milkmen. So you'll have to check them out, or I'll send you some of their music.
Sure. And
he just put this post that says, right, shout out to all my fellow friend musicians. And he recorded an acoustic 12-bar track for about 3 or 4 minutes. Just sent it out as that. So about 10 musicians got involved. Nobody knew what each other was playing. We were all playing blind. Uh-huh. And we handed it back. And it got mixed by one of the top blues producers in the UK. and it's absolutely brilliant. Really pleased with the end results. I'll send it to you. It's called Isolation Blues. And considering nobody knew what anyone was doing, really good fun. Really great to be involved with.
I love it, and I wish I was a performer myself. I just like a great fan and novice, should I say. But you were hearing what's happening today. There's always discoveries. I mean, God bless the performers. I understand the income and all that, but now you guys are doing other things with technology and something you just described to me that is happening because of this.
Well, I was talking to a good friend of mine about 3 weeks ago, a gentleman called Nick Steed. Now, you probably never heard of him, but he's got a band called the Nick Steed 5. It's also the keyboard player for the Norman Beaker band. I don't know if you've heard of Norman Beaker, but he's a bit of a legendary bluesman over here in the UK. He's been around for 1 or 2 years, and he's just released an album yesterday called Turning Back the Clock, and that's gotten to number 2 on the Amazon or iTunes chart immediately. So I'm trying to get Norman lined up to come on my show, which will be absolutely fantastic. So if you don't ask, you never find out, do you?
No, you don't. And myself, I was talking to Gil Anthony from Blues Plower. He's got a great 40-year DJ in Alabama. But you're talking about the community of blues, how they've welcomed me through the music that I've been lucky with, Betsy Brown and all that. And it is a community. Yeah. Like you say, it goes to number 2, but people are looking for that and, expressing it, and everybody's cheering each other. I find everybody's very cool.
I absolutely agree with that.
Are gone. It's like you're doing this, pass it on. There's all sharing.
Yeah. Well, what I found, certainly being in a blues band myself at a certain level, everybody kind of knows everybody on the circuit, and the collaboration and atmosphere between everyone wants everyone else to get on, because admittedly it's a niche market, is the blues. It certainly is here in the UK. I know it's bigger over in the States, but we're trying to keep the flag flying, desperate to do it. That's why I run a little blues festival in my hometown, and I also run a couple of blues clubs as well. And it's just bringing those artists that are good but have never had a break, and that's what we're concentrating on our little blues festival, which we had to cancel this year, unfortunately, or postpone rather, because we did it first time last year, and the band we had headlining are called The Achievers. Now, they went on to win the UK Blues Challenge last year and went on to represent the UK at the International Blues Challenge in Memphis.
Yes.
And they made the semi-finals, and they had a blast. I'm quite good friends with them guys now, just through doing the radio and doing music and booking them and that. So I was really pleased for them. And they were supposed to be doing the European Blues Challenge final, I think it was last weekend, but obviously that's been postponed. But it's great because no one's making a lot of money out of it. They're making a living, but you're never going to be rich doing it. But it's just for the love of it and the passion. And I don't make any money out of it, but I'm not bothered. I've got a real job as well.
Well, we were talking before we came on air. A lot of this is just a learning experience, life, things to do. And I find that, and I'm reaching out to so many neat people and learning and talking. Because when my interviews are going, I'm talking an hour and 18 minutes with Gil Anthony yesterday. The songs are playing, but we're yapping in the background. Learning and growing. And that blues festival you're talking about, people come from all over the United States, every state, internationally. I know my friend Lem came all the way from Holland. He's a promoter with ABIK is his promotion company. I get a lot of music from him. He was there. He was asking me if I was going to come, and this year for sure, just get in the car, The cool thing about my show, I can be mobile. With bandwidth, with a signal, I can broadcast everywhere. And
that's all right, then, isn't it? Yeah.
At technology. So it's amazing what you're saying, Yeah. It's bringing everybody together.
It does. It's brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it. And that's it. Could be described as a bit of a loose man. I don't want to use the derogatory term, but I'll play with anybody on my harmonica.
I love it.
If I get asked, I'll play. It's like the club nights that I run on the last Thursday of every month. I quite often get asked, will you play harmonica? I say, I just happen to have about 40 in a case in the boot of my car, or the trunk, I should say, of the car. But,
yeah. That's what I was going to ask. You could do a quick song for us too. I love that also. If you had one close, I can get to a song anyways. Put you on the spot, my friend.
Not today. I'm not today because I'm in my little home studio and I've just been I've just been gluing noise pads to the wall, and my hand